It's time for our Men of Platinum Presents Direct Hit, where we pick a standout player from the day's play, one that displayed an indomitable spirit and had unwavering values, just like Platinum. Big game this. Qualifier number 1, KKR versus SRH. Tom Moody, Mitch, McClenaghan, Varun all season have been my Men of Platinum. They will take some time and give their verdict in a few minutes from now. But first, gentlemen, quick fire review of the game, shall we? Tom, let's start with you. Looking at the record at Ahmedabad with 4 out of 6 wins for the chasing team, did Pat Cummins get it wrong at the toss?
I think he'll regret choosing to bat first. I know it's their strength. There's no question throughout the season they've bossed the game from the front with the bat in hand. But I think at this particular occasion, with Dew potentially having an impact, which it did have an impact, I don't think it had an impact on the outcome of the game.
Sure.
But I think they didn't get their batting right, so it put their bowlers under enormous pressure with a very modest total.
All right, Varun, your turn. Was it inevitable that Mitchell Starc would make himself count come crunch time in the playoffs?
Absolutely, I had no doubts. He's been there, done that so many times before, and that's exactly the kind of player you want to depend on in such moments, in such games. He's invaluable when he gets it right, and that's exactly what he showed today.
All right, Mitch McClenaghan, rate the Iyer and Iyer show towards the end to close it out for Kolkata with the bat.
That was great, wasn't it? It definitely was a show, that's for sure. They were high quality. I thought Venkatesh Iyer really took on the spin during that middle phase exceptionally well, and Shreyas just built that partnership until the end and showed the explosiveness he's got against spin. So high quality, it's exactly what they were looking for going into the final.
All right, back to you, Tom. 20 wickets with an economy of just over 8. Is Varun Chakravarti the best spinner of the season?
Well, I think he'd have to be in the grand final if he's not the best spinner, put it that way. I think he's bowled exceptionally well. I think he's been assisted well with Sonny on the right at the other end. I think both of them in partnership have been very dynamic, very different bowlers. But Chakravarti has been right on the money, and he's bowled well and had bowled particularly well in partnership with Narayan.
All right, Mitch, what changes would you make to the Hyderabad lineup for the second qualifier?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I sometimes you don't want to take that knee-jerk reaction and change your side. This is the best side that they thought coming into this game. Only concern is that I just feel like they're short a batsman if their top doesn't fire, and the game's almost gone if either Klaasen, Head or Abhishek don't get runs. So there's potential there for them to maybe look at bringing in Markanday again, which gives them the opportunity to look at maybe bringing a Markram in there or a Glenn Phillips as an option in that middle order, just to shore it up. And they can bowl in over each as well. So I don't think they'll change, but that's just another option.
All right, and finally, Varun, dominance from start to finish. Are Kolkata favourites for that final, regardless of who they face?
Yes, they are favourites in that final. They look like a complete team, batting, bowling, fielding. Their fast bowling department was under a little doubt, under a few questions.
Yep.
But otherwise, I think with Mitch Starc hitting form this game, that's put to rest, and they look like a very, very strong team going.
All right, and on that note, you perhaps have mentioned him. So is Mitchell Starc our man of platinum today, Varun?
Without a doubt, strong like platinum.
Yeah.
In a very big game. So yeah, it should be Mitchell Starc.
Yeah, let's talk about the skill he had on display, and I'm sure the resilience as well that he had to have carried through this season. Resilience, a value as rare as platinum for someone, Mitch, who big overseas signing, record for the IPL all time, and he's been leaking runs start to finish. He's not had this kind of impact. Great resilience shown from one of the great white ball bowlers of his time.
Yeah, a great resilience, you're absolutely right, but where does that resilience come from? It comes from self-belief and having been there before and been in tough situations. And I think this has been a really interesting campaign for Mitchell Starc, and I think he showed a lot of courage. He could have given up very early in the piece and really kind of gone the other way and almost been out the back door and not contributing at this point in the finals. So I think he's been exceptional. I think we've seen a special player in special moments and in a special team. So It's been great to see.
Yeah, self-belief and courage, also values as rare as platinum, and he had to have that self-belief, especially when he came up against one of the most dangerous batters in the competition, Tom Travis Head. You called it to be a key matchup. It helped that Starc has enjoyed bowling to Head, or rather the other way around, that Head is not as comfortable facing Mitchell Starc?
Yeah, well, they know each other very, very well, and I think that was an advantage for Mitchell Starc because, he understands exactly what Travis Head's trying to do, and Travis Head would also know the threat of Starc And it's a little bit different when Travis Head's playing against any other bowler in the tournament. You know, the other bowlers are feeling under siege with a huge threat, where Mitchell Starc, because he knows him very well as a batter, knows him very well as a person, that's just water off a duck's back, and he just took him down with the perfect ball to dismiss him early.
Yeah, we've spoken of self-belief, of courage, of resilience, values as rare as platinum. Another one is actually team spirit, and it's a valuable one to bring up, because Varun, you pointed out on our post show too, he owes the rest of his team as well. The fact that the other bowlers carried the workload when he was out of form, if we shall say, that allowed for us to watch this Mitchell Starc in a big game.
Absolutely. The other bowlers and the batsmen as well, because KKR was scoring big, chasing down very big targets. And sometimes when your whole team is rallying around you, you can actually get that cushion, get that space to find form. And we know that sometimes teams persist with the big players because they know when they hit form, they can do exactly what he did today.
All right. Thank you very much to Varun, Aaron, Mitch McClenaghan, Tom Moody, Mitchell Starc, worth his weight in platinum for the Knight Riders today. And he is therefore our Man of Platinum. And that wraps up our Men of Platinum presents Direct Hit for the first qualifier.